Hello and welcome to the Gamehouse's second episode of Dorm Chats, where we go around talking to the who's who of college esports. I'm your host, Robert Haynes, and joining me for our second episode is Duong Pham from Columbia College Esports. Thanks for being on with us today. How's it going?
Hey, it's going great. How are you?
Oh man, I'm doing fantastic. Just a blustery day here in Cincinnati.
Oh, I bet it's cold everywhere.
Oh yeah, that super hurricane or that bomb hurricane out in the northeast. I'm pretty glad I don't live on the coast right now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be talking a little bit about Columbia College Esports, a program that's been around for a while. I believe you guys started sometime in 2015. Is that correct?
The inception of the program, yes, it was back in 2015. That's when I started recruiting players, where I started talking to players.
Okay.
Officially, the program started last year,
Okay.
16.
Okay, yeah, because I remember seeing an article from I think it was like October talking about you guys, going with a scholarship program, varsity program. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. So I mean, it's you've been around since pretty much the birth of it. Like, what made you kind of want to start this program, and what made you specifically want to get involved?
Well, actually, I didn't start a program. I helped build it from the ground, but I didn't start it. The president of Columbia College did.
Oh
Um,
wow.
Yeah, so when he first came here, he was a gamer himself. So when he first came to Columbia College, he held a tournament, right, a gaming tournament where um, a student would play Martin 2014, I think,
Hmm.
and whoever won that tournament would play him at the end. And if they beat him, he would pay for a year worth of textbook.
Oh wow.
So it was a really fun event. He didn't win. He was decent. He wasn't very good. He got demolished at the end. But it was really fun. And that actually got national media attention, where ESPN actually had a score ticker running in the bottom of one of their show, and he was really proud of that. It was funny how he kept talking about it. You got an ESPN sticker. What did you get? Right, it's kind of so so we got a lot of energy and media attention from it. We wanted to keep it going. So we want to be creative. We want to be a hub of invention for colleges. For that's the big goal we want to do. We want to show ourselves as we are one of the innovators.
Okay.
So then we look around and saw the uprising of esports. It by that time I think Euro was going on, I think, for 2 years,
Hmm.
and there was increasing number of viewers and talks about it. So we decided to give it a try, and that's when we started looking around, and that's how Columbia College wanted to do it, because it was because of the president. So in terms of my involvement was I was on the president's volleyball team. So at the same time we had the gaming tournament, we also had the sand volleyball tournament, right?
Hmm.
So when he came in, he brought that with him. So he loved playing volleyball, and we were playing one time. He was like, hey, you're pretty good. I want you to play on my team. Yeah, sure, I'll play. So afterwards, we started talking a lot more, and we got kind of close. So when he had this idea about gaming, he brought it up, and I said, yeah, I play this game, and I know about the scene. I know I played for some time. I played for 3 years now, well, on and off, but not competitively.
Yeah.
But I know about the game. I follow professional, LCS. I watch games when I could. So like we kept the conversation going. So when we actually decided to start a program, um, I was on the search committee, right? I was full time at the time. I was working for Columbia College.
Yeah.
I didn't want to commit full time to it, so I said, "Yeah, how about search for qualified candidates, and then afterward, I'm stay around to help out. I'm not going to be running the program." So he was like, "Okay," and then so that's how Brian Curtis. He was he was in charge of facility at the time
Yeah.
for athletics, and we have Matt manager who was the actually a field engineer, like an end user support
Mm-hmm.
specialist. We talk quite a bit, and we play game together. So we gather together. So that we know Matt and I know quite a bit about the game, and Brian knows about athletics, all the procedure and such. So we were the search committee for the program. So that started my involvement of it. And after a while, this is a long story. I know if you want me to
No,
keep.
no, no. This is really interesting. Keep going.
So after searching for a while, we because it was a new program, and esports didn't have a big name to it, so we didn't have a lot of capital to invest into the program, right? Um, we had an idea that we need somebody to fill the position as a head coach. We had an idea. We didn't know what make a great head coach of esports. It wasn't very clearly defined at the time. We didn't have anybody to talk to really. So we were looking for somebody that would come in and would have this program take off from the ground. With little knowledge from outside of how the program should be run. We interviewed a bunch of candidates and we narrowed down to one. We brought it up to the president. He didn't like him that much. Um, well, I mean, the candidate was fine, but the president was looking for something else. I didn't want to sell the candidate short. So he said, so after that, he came to me and said, you know what? Why don't you run the program? I was like, well, I had a full-time job, and I know starting something this big would take a lot of time. And honestly, I don't really know how to run an esports program. He was like, think about it. See, that's the thing about the president, that he can empower you to do things you thought couldn't be done,
Absolutely.
right? And so I came back and I thought about it, and I thought for this program to succeed, there's this couple of elements that a head coach needed that I didn't see in any of the candidates. Well, not all of the qualifications. Three of them are you gotta know the game first, right? You can't be nothing about the sport, nothing but the game, and start coaching it. It's like if you don't play basketball and never play soccer, and you come in and you coach and get a team together, you're not gonna go far,
Absolutely.
right? You gotta at least know the game. You don't have to play professionally, but you gotta know the game and uh, have enough knowledge of it. And second, you gotta be able to talk to people, gotta be able to coach people, right?
Absolutely.
On technical level or on personal level.
Mm-hmm.
And third, you gotta be somewhat um, affiliated with the college.
Absolutely.
To have the drive, to have the values and the mission of the college ingrained in you, to actually help this Columbia college program and make this program a success. So when I thought about it, I had all three of those qualities of qualifications. So I played the game. I coach a lot of sports. I coach volleyball. I coach basketball. I train my coworkers a lot in lifting weights, and I even train MMA and wrestling. So I do a lot of coaching, not in game, all the coaching in the ground. So my interpersonal communication skills is up to par, and I've been at Columbia College for 5 years at the time.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I thought about it. So you know what? Yeah, I'll give it a try. So I split my time between I was still working full time,
Mm-hmm.
and then during the day or whenever I had time or at night, I would work on recruiting and work on all of everything you need to know to run the program.
Absolutely.
And I accepted it and I said, all right, I'll give it a try. And I've been trying ever since.
Well, no, I mean that's awesome. I mean, you guys have built a really good program. I mean, you guys were one of the first even announced scholarship programs, and I'm sure that had a lot to do with your president's faith in you and just his his seemingly love for gaming as well. So,
Yeah.
um, I was gonna kind of ask you a little bit about that real quickly. Just when all these programs are starting to just now announce, their scholarship programs, like a couple of them have had varsity programs. You guys seem to have from the very beginning the idea of a scholarship program. When I read that first article that was done on you guys, they said scholarship program, not varsity right away, and I was supremely impressed. I mean, what kind of gave you guys that foresight and that understanding that that was something you wanted to do?
Um, so we knew we had to give some incentive
Mm,
for the player to come to college, right? We're not a big school, first of all, and we're in Missouri. We're in Colonial, Missouri. Most of the people don't even know where we are. So um, it's um, we want it's one of the first mover advantage, right?
yeah,
You do something first, then you got the experience, you got the name for yourself that you are one of the first that have done it.
absolutely.
So when we did it, we knew we were one of the first. We were first fifth school that offered scholarship, and I think we were one of the ones that did it more successfully than a couple of the schools that came before us.
Hmm.
So we fifth, and I for scholarship we heard of RMU, we heard of Maryville, and I think that's about it. But for some, there's a couple other schools that offer scholarship, but it didn't quite make it. So we knew we had to offer something for the players as an incentive to come to Columbia College. Well, at the time, right, we're just starting out. As an idea, it sounds great,
Yeah.
but when it comes to execution, it was lacking a lot of factors that would make the program enticing. Right?
Hmm.
For example, facilities. Well, we didn't have a facility. We were just fixing up a building. It was an old soccer locker room.
Okay.
Apparently, it smelled really bad, so it took a while for them to take everything out. And we had that as our training facility, and it was still under construction, so it's not done yet. So technically, we didn't have a training facility. We didn't have a team because we were just starting out,
Hmm.
right? And we couldn't offer a lot of scholarship because um, we we're not an official athletic program,
Hmm.
and we were not in the umbrella of athletic. So it would look really bad if we offered just a lot of scholarship right off the bat. So we had some leeway to work with when it comes to scholarship,
Hmm.
right? So we didn't have a lot of things to sell. So that's why I had to sell it quite a bit. Like I had to talk to recruits and figure out what they wanted, what they really, you know, what their passions are, and just try to sell the program in terms of how it would help them, make a better future. Because we are college, we offer great education here at Columbia College. I just wanted to sell that to them along with the idea of, oh, you go here and get a great education and you get scholarship to play on esports team, which you're gonna be playing anyway when you play and get better as a team here in
Hmm.
Columbia College.
Absolutely.
So um, I at the time, giving out scholarship seems like a requirement to get a team together.
Absolutely.
If I didn't have that, I seriously don't think I could have recruited anybody by then,
Well,
because it's different if you are UC Irvine.
yeah. Yeah, I
uh,
get that.
so yeah, it wasn't a big decision on whether or not to offer scholarship. It was more of a necessity.
Absolutely. And I mean, you guys have a really good league team as well. I mean, you've got at least one challenger, I think two masters, and a couple diamonds, if I remember correctly. So,
All of the guys on our team's been challengers this year
this
or
year,
last
wow.
season.
Wow.
So I mean, challengers only train 200 of them, right? You go up and down, and 200 of them include everybody. So like professionals, amateurs, and we are collegiate. We don't play it for we play it as in tandem of going to classes.
Absolutely.
So So if you have like a couple of challengers on your team, that's put you on par of a professional team.
Absolutely.
So and all of the guys on the team has been are still challengers of as of now.
And that's amazing. And I mean, I think that's probably why you guys have done so well in your tournaments. And I know you made it pretty far in you Lowell last year, if I remember correctly. Did you guys lose? I think you guys lost to Robert Morris in the semis. Is that right?
Uh, we lost it in regional to RMU.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another tough program. So I mean, I'm sure that's kind of a budding rivalry. And with that, Riot has recently announced that they're going to be investing a lot more time into the collegiate scene, and putting more stuff into ULOL. Do you kind of, what do you think that they have planned? What do you think is different, or what do you know? I guess is going to be different because I'm assuming you guys are planning on at least trying out, if not being in officially. I don't know how the process is going to go yet. I don't know if they've announced that, but what do you think they have kind of planned for you, Lowell, this year?
Um, as you probably already know, there's a lot of changes in the professional scene
Oh yeah.
recently, right? So all the spots were up for a bit, and there's a lot of changes on what team could go to LCS and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of players that get recruited for academy teams,
Yes.
right? So a lot of players that were in college get recruited.
Yeah.
I know a couple guys from UBC, from Toronto, from all the good schools from last year or a couple of years ago. They all get recruited, to the academy team. One of the guys that usually go to Columbia College get recruited too. He went to academy team of TSM.
Okay.
Um, so with those changes, this has happened recently.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they said they would put more time in Euro and collegiate, but for me, I think it's going to be tough for them to change up a lot of things this year because they've done a lot. They still have a lot to do with professional because that they're primarily focused at the moment,
Absolutely.
right? And if you split, Riot is not a huge company. If you split your focus you know, on the two separate scenes, you're not gonna do well in either one.
Yeah.
So
No, it's tough.
yeah, so I think they're trying to make collegiate a bit more organized, and they've been making progress,
Yeah.
right? But to get collegiate to the point where it's it has a structure of a traditional sport,
Mm-hmm.
then I would think it's still going to take a while,
Yeah.
and I don't think they can do it all by themselves. They have to delegate, responsibilities of of uh, of organizing the entire thing to other companies that now they hungry for it. A lot of organizations started popping up from everywhere and trying to get a hold of organizing tournaments by themselves. Get into a group where they um, sign up, bunch of school together to form some sort of oversight, some sort of supervision group, supervising group to offer some help with Jolo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so far, I have seen that Riot didn't like that. Riot shut them all down.
Yeah.
It's like we don't want any you have any control at all,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. I understand from that perspective, but I think they're trying to do too much,
Okay.
and having outsider help would would make a lot more progress for Euro instead of doing everything by themselves. So I guess we'll see how more organized that they're gonna get this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's not organized. I'm just saying like to get to the point where you know you meet all the expectation of the audience and of the schools and of everybody. You get to that point, right? It's gonna has still had a lot to do,
Absolutely.
and with outside help, I think they can get there a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I don't see that they want those help yet.
Yeah, no, and I think it's funny that you are talking about that because my next question for you was actually about some outside help. And this is a question I'm gonna probably ask this question to everybody until we get in, until we know what's happening. But
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of people who are saying that the NCAA may get involved, and you know, I've heard the goods about that, which not many people are talking about, and then I've heard a lot of bad things about it. I mean, do you think that that's the way to go, or is there another way, a better way, in your opinion, for college esports to get a little more organized? Because, like you said, I mean, there are programs popping up almost every day. It seems like, and there are varsity programs at major Division 1, Division 2, NAIA colleges. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, I mean, what are your thoughts, I guess, on that?
Well, what I've seen is that esports don't want to be supervised by any group because it's very dynamic, right? It can it can go in a lot of ways. Um, let's see. So traditional sports
Hmm.
don't play for money,
Yeah.
right? Well, collegiate sports don't play for money. They
Yeah.
play for the school.
Yeah.
They compete for bragging rights,
Yeah. Essentially.
fees and such. But esports, on the other hand, you can go to a tournament and win prizes, monetary prizes,
Yeah.
right? And when it comes to money, it gets really tricky. Right? You don't see a basketball team going to tournament and win like money, right? NCAA, that's what it is. You play for your school and to represent your school, and then if you're good enough, you go pro, and that's when you start making money.
Yeah, and that's yeah for the players' perspective. Yeah, I know that the schools do make money off of it, which is I think interesting because I don't know in these tournaments. Is Columbia College taking any of the cut at all from you guys, or does it go all to the program?
Um, Columbia College doesn't interfere with the budget and the earning of the program, right? For so far, it's been um, so to think about it this way. The esports program falls under athletic, right? So we receive funding from athletics, and we don't. And right now we have a budget every year, and if we for a budget is due for traveling, team gears, and any equipment replacement if we need to.
Absolutely.
And we don't win enough really to actually operate by ourselves.
Yeah.
So we still need the funding from athletics, right? So unless we get to the point where we start winning left and right, and get a lot of money, we don't know where to spend it, then something may happen there.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I think it also has to do with there not being enough tournaments, enough money in tournaments right now for you guys to even if you were winning all of them, there's no way you could probably support an entire program based off of most of the tournaments that you could win anyway. So that makes sense.
And then I mean, there's amateur groups, you know, that they exist for that sole reason, right? They don't need to go to school. They can play whenever they like,
Hmm.
and they're most likely to perform better than us. So if we base our model, our sustainability on winning tournament, we're not gonna last long because we can't really compete with that.
Yeah, and I mean with the fluidity of the game, with the meta changes, with the amount of time that people have to put in to get to challenger. Yeah, I mean that all makes sense. So I mean, with that being said, what kind of are some next steps you think for college esports? You know, I talked with Matt McFarland last week of Miami University, and him and I talked about the fact he doesn't really think that there's going to be a system where, it kind of is like traditional sports where college feeds into a draft that feeds into the pros. And you were talking about some of the schools and some of the people going on to the academy teams. We saw people like Paula Fox who got drafted, in their first ever inaugural, League of Legends draft. And, I'm wondering if do you feel similarly? I mean, do you think collegiate esports will get to the point where they will start having drafts for players like that, and you guys will have the opportunities for people to be drafted? Or, I mean, I guess what are your thoughts, on that kind of aspect of college esports?
Yeah. I have to say I don't think we're going to get there. Reason why is that esport is a lot different than traditional sports in terms of prime.
Yeah.
Right? So traditional sports, you play physical sports, and physically you pick, you know, it varies, but usually in your teams and in your training.
Mhm.
So if you go to college, you play sports, you can get better physically. When you graduate, let's say you 18, 20, you get really good, and you still get better then, right, physically. But for esports, it's quite different, right? You pick a lot earlier.
Yes.
So when you're in high school, early high school or late middle school, that's when you get really good. That's where you don't have to worry about anything. That's where you can really play. That's where you can prove a lot. That's where you pick. If you get really good, then that's when you get really good.
Absolutely.
If you get to college age, right, you have a lot to worry about. You have school. You have to think about life.
Mhm.
After college, you have to think about other things, and then there's social pressure. Social norm that you need to get a job. Your parents tell you the same thing. So all these different things that get thrown at you as you get older.
Mhm.
And I think there's a big factor on whether or not you would get better and to go pro is that if you're not already really good by a certain age, by the time you get to college, it'll be really hard for you to get a lot better. Like traditional sports, you can get better as you physically, if you pick a lot later, so you can still get better. But for um, for esports, when you get to college, you already past your prime,
That's
right?
interesting.
For most people, right? You can still keep playing, but you're not gonna get increasingly better. You're not gonna pick that late. So when I think about it that way, having draft out of college to go pro, as you can see, pro players, they're really young.
Yeah.
Like most of them, they're still high school and college age,
Mhm.
right? And you don't really play for very long either. So I think what esports moving into is, and I mean it's still early in the program, we're only second year,
Mhm.
but I think the best um, for the esports athletes to do it would be to finish school, get a degree.
Yeah.
And once you get a degree and say that's the sure thing, that's like the insurance, right? You
Yeah.
can go pro, you can do anything you like, but the time you spend studying in college will not be wasted,
Absolutely.
right? Say if you wanted to go pro and you quit third year in college, you just do that. So you just throw away all your time um, you spend in school to go pro, and as you know, is volatile, right? You don't know if you're gonna be playing pro for I don't know how long. And as I already said, the older you get, the harder it's going to get better, or the worse you're going to get.
Yeah.
So you have, for me, the best direction for esport athletes. If you go to college, finish the degree, get a degree, get something for sure for
Absolutely.
you. Then, and if you don't, if you go out there, you make it to a professional scene, you enjoy, you do it as long as you can. That's great. But if not, you have the degree in your hand, and you can do a lot, way more things with a degree than with like a sheer focus on one thing in esports.
And that's so funny that you say that, just because that was almost the exact answer I got from Matt. So that seems to be kind of a prevailing theme right now within, those of you who are directly in the scene, in that regard. And I wonder if it'll change. I really do. I wonder if the age will change as we, progress further. You know, physically, we've seen in traditional sports, people now are a lot bigger, stronger, faster than they were before, because we have certain programs that push them towards that. And I wonder if that'll happen for esports as well, to where it extends the career and extends the reaction times of people. Um, that's gonna be interesting, though. Okay, so
Yeah,
I mean, my last thing here is for those high schoolers, for those people that you're trying to recruit, right? I mean, if a high schooler wants to get involved with a college esports program, what would your advice be for them? And specifically with your program, what kind of other things that you guys look for?
Um, so if high schoolers want to get ready themselves for college, and so say they make to go pro and they want to go to college,
Hmm.
well, you gotta get your grades up, right? To play for a college first, you have to get into college,
Yeah.
right? I heard a story one time where somebody was playing with Harvard University's team,
Hmm.
and Harvard did pretty well last year.
Yeah.
They had a high school team, but then somebody asked, "Hey, can I come and play for your team?" And they didn't realize that to be able to play for their team, you need to get into Harvard first.
Yeah.
So, so to play for a college team, you got to get to college, right?
Yeah.
What better way to get yourself ready for college? Yeah, you got to study. You got to
Absolutely.
get your grades up. You got to get your GPA up. You got to get the test score, so you can go to a college, whatever college you want,
Hmm.
and then you can join, the school team.
Absolutely.
Right? And Carnegie Mellon was in the final last year. Carnegie Mellon was one of the top schools
Yeah.
in the country, right? So and getting there alone is really hard, let alone joining the team.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to join the team, you got to join the school first.
Absolutely.
So for high schoolers, look at the college you want to go to, and make sure you can make the requirement. You can get to that school first. Don't worry about joining the team because if you can't make it to the school, you're not going to be able to make the team.
Yeah. No, that makes
Right?
sense.
So that's my advice for high schoolers out there,
Yeah.
and get your grades up. And right now, reach out. I have a lot of high schoolers reach out to me, and I answer every single one of them. Right, they send me emails. Say, hey, I'm senior, I'm junior of this school, I'm graduating. You have a spot for me, right? And I would tell them, we full right now, but keep your grades up and talk to the guys on the team. Get a feeling on what it's like to be on a college team. And if you like it, when next year come, if we have open spot, you're welcome to join us. And you know, just to reach out to get yourself familiar with the collegiate scene, to get ready for college, basically.
Yeah.
By talking to us, talking to the guys on the team, you get a lot of insights on what it feels like to be in college first of all,
Hmm.
and to be in college and play for the team.
Absolutely.
So most of the time they don't know what to expect, so it's kind of scary for them.
Yeah.
But if you reach out and talk and network with the college athletes, you can have more insights and make you make better decisions on whether or not college is for you and whether or not you want to join the team in college and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that's great advice. I help out with a high school esports club as well group, and that's something that I've told them as well. Is like you guys
Yeah,
can get into the
and
college you want to. So.
most of the times, the team would want to do outreach, right? You want to give back to the community,
Absolutely.
and if they have a chance to do that, they will.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to build network, bring the club and introduce them to the team to the college. I'm sure it'll be a good opportunity for both of the groups. To reach out, to help out, to give back to the community, and to get insights on potential educational and career path of the high schoolers as well.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think that's going to be key for all these high schoolers. So if you're a high schooler and you're watching this, you know, take the advice that that you've gotten in both of these so far, and just kind of keep that in mind as you going forward. So, I just want to thank you again for joining us on Dorm Chats today. We really appreciate you taking the time,
Yeah.
especially over break. So I know that's normally you getting some time to relax.
Sure. This is not a dorm, right?
What was that?
This is not a dorm.
Well, yeah, no, I could tell. It definitely does not look like one. So hopefully, hopefully you're getting to enjoy yourself at home. But I also want to thank everyone, for watching. And as a reminder, you can find us on YouTube by searching the Game House, HAUS, as a reminder, and the same on Facebook and Twitter. Links will be below for those of you watching on YouTube. And thank you for watching this episode of Dorm Chats. From our house to yours, have a great day and be on the lookout for our next interview.